Good day, welcome back to my neck of the woods. My name's Dika, where I share my experience, my knowledge, hoping to lessen your learning curve along the way. Sorry I haven't made a video in a while. I've been busy with my food plot, getting ready for deer season. I know it's only May, but I'm always preparing for deer season, and I've been caught up in the stock market with this stupid Dogecoin and all that other crap. So anyway, I want to talk broadheads. I want to talk about broadhead testing. I really want to do a test that proves more than what's out there. Oh my goodness, I got like a spider web on my nose out here. So I want to do something. I have some mediums that I can shoot through, but I don't want to do the same old thing as everyone else. And I want to talk about my broadhead setup and how I've changed and how I'm kind of just going back to square one, coming full circle. So in this past deer season, I got caught up in these heavy arrows and forward of center, and you need all this structural integrity and all these other things that a lot of people are pushing. It's very trendy right now. So what I did is I went out and I got heavy arrows. I got like 700 and whatever grain arrows, and I put like 200 grain grizzly sticks on the end, and my forward of center was 23, blah, 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 you know? So I went turkey hunting with it, and I did deer hunting. I got 3 deer last year. I have no complaints with it. And you know what? It dropped deer, but it didn't get the blood trails that I was hoping for. And I know we can't control the blood trails. We can't control how much a deer or a turkey or whatever bleeds. But I did notice that they bled more with my original setup. So, and that's just my opinion from my point of view. I would really like to do a testing that simulates blood trailing, but I don't know what to do it. I need help. I'm asking for help for you folks. Put something in the comments so we can maybe come up with a test together. Now, there are some mediums that I have. I have a bear hide that I can shoot through that's been through my freezer that I left in there too long, and I can't get it tanned. I do have the skull, but the skull is supposed to go to someone else, and I do have some foam, and I don't have unlimited resources, but if I get some good ideas that are within reason, I can certainly shoot through them and go from there. Now, I have a 55-pound bow and a 29-inch draw length, and I found with these heavy arrows that obviously the arrows went slower. They did work, they did get more penetration, but they really lobbed. They lobbed far, I don't know, they just went slower, obviously, because they weighed more. They weighed about 300 grains more than my current setup. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my setup that I had before that I used for upwards of 10 years, and that's an Eastern Access arrow. I got one right here. An Eastern Access arrow. I think it weighs upwards of, I think, around 450 grains. It has the hit insert. I use Schwackers for turkeys, and then I've tried and true. I've used the Ramcat, the 125 version. I want people to tell me what they use and why they use it. Not just like, oh, I use this and it gets the best blood trails or whatnot. If you have a broadhead that you've been using for upwards of 10 years, those are the broadheads that I want to test. I want to test the ones that people have been using, not the new ones, or they think it's cool, or they used it one time. I want the veteran hunters out there to just say, I've been using Slick Trick Grizz Tricks for 25 years and I've never shied away from them, you know, or something like that. But I need ideas on, I want to do a broadhead test that hasn't been done before. I don't want to shoot through ballistic gel. I don't want to shoot into cinder blocks. I know what I don't want to do, but short of just shooting into a deer hide, but even then, that's only going to give me a couple times. You know, the only real life testing is real life testing. So I'm going back to my old setup for deer season and the remainder of turkey here, and I may put an insert in it. I did like the forward of center. The forward of center did give more penetration, but the heavy arrows caused me the lob, and I wasn't exactly I wasn't thrilled with that. And this, if you watch my turkey video, I missed 2 turkeys, and that's just my own error. I don't think it has anything to do with the arrows, but because of the massive penetration that we're getting off these heavy arrows, my broadhead stuck into a log, and I couldn't get the broadheads out, short of bringing a chainsaw into the woods to get a broadhead out. So I've lost 3 broadheads. One was during deer season. And I mean, if anyone's buying these broadheads out there, it's like $90 for 3 of them. So money is a huge part of it too. So, and the arrows, for 6 arrows, I think I got them through Dynamic Archery Solutions. It cost me upwards of like $180 for 6 arrows, which is fine. I didn't mind paying at the time, but when you lose them, I mean, I shot at a turkey and I missed the turkey and it hit a rock and the arrow broke. So I'm out that arrow too. And then one arrow, I couldn't even find it because the penetration was complete overkill. And that's kind of a point that I'm getting at. This forward of center trend that's going on right now, it's complete overkill. I mean, that's fine. You want to rip through a deer, or I mean, a bear or a buffalo or whatever it is. Helicopter, sorry about the noise. So, where was I? Talking about penetration. So that's fine. It zips right through a deer, and it did. It went right through a deer, and the deer didn't even know that it hit it. But I couldn't find my arrow, even with a Luminoc on it. I couldn't find it because it's so much penetration. And then the broadheads are just buried in trees, or they hit rocks, and so maybe we're going a little too far with this forward of center thing. I'm not really sure, but I want to know. Let me know in the comments. But back to broadheads. I want to talk broadheads. I want to talk fixed blades. I want to talk mechanicals. I know there's people out there using mechanicals with forward of center. And is structural integrity really, really important? Is it? So I've used a 125 ram cap for many, many years, and it's gone through shoulders, and it's gone through bones, and it's gone through ribs, and it's gone through the organs or whatever. And these flimsy blades, they bend, but they go through the animal. They go through the animal. Having something just made out of machined steel and it's strong as an ox, do we really need it for deer hunting? My guess is no, but I fell victim to it too. I was, and the setups we're creating, they're completely out of control, and we're deer hunting. If we're hunting buffalo, or I'm going to say even elk, or with a bow, or elephant, or whatever we're hunting big game animals with thick hides. Hunting pigs is another one. I'd say yes, a portion of it is needed, but for hunting deer, maybe not so much. So I've had 2 broadheads that have been successful over I'm coming up on 12 years. This will be my 12th season up here. And the first broadhead that I used was made by, not Grizzly Stick, it was a Grizz Trick. It was a 1.25 inch cut Slick Trick Grizz Trick. And that absolutely devastated that deer. Went straight through it and went through. It clipped the shoulder in the front, kind of like the elbow area. Up higher on the scapula. Clipped that, took a piece off that, went through, and then buried itself in the back leg. And I was shooting the same setup that I am now, 56 pounds, 29 inch draw, and like a 400 and something grain arrow with the hit insert. I know they say they fail, but I mean, fail how? I mean, so it blows up because it hits a rock, or it blows up because it hits a bone. I mean, our arrows aren't meant to go through brick walls. They're made to go through animals. So you put something super sharp on the end, and as long as you don't hit bone, or even if you do hit bone, it's going to go through. It's going to go through if it's a 48-pound bow with a 200 grain arrow. So food for thought. Like I said, I want to talk broadheads, and I want broadheads to be the main thing that we're talking about here. What's the best broadhead out there? I'm not sure there's a thing, but I want to do a test. I want to do a test, and I need your opinions. I need you to tell me what you think is a good test. Is it going to be shooting through foam slats, or pieces of plywood, or in an angle? And those angled shots, where people shoot through plywood, I just don't buy it. It's not an animal. An animal kind of bends, So I was thinking maybe like taking like styrofoam, making styrofoam molds, and then in the curves of an animal, That's what I was thinking, and then cover that with foam and then mold it like an animal. It shouldn't take that much time, and I'm not Picasso. I'm not looking for this amazing animal, but I think it will give us the gist, because an animal moves when you hit it. So like I don't need to tell deer hunters or turkey hunters, or mainly deer hunters, what they do. But I mean, you know, when you hit the animal moves because it fucking hurts. So, food for thought. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think is a good test. And I don't know. Tell me about your setup. And during this test, I want to test everything. I don't want to just test. I'm not going to test the super heavy stuff, but I'm going to get some broadheads based on people's recommendations. Maybe I'll shoot a 150 broadhead. I'll probably shoot them out of the same arrows, maybe some different arrows. I'm not really sure, but I really want it to be across the board. I don't want it to be the same arrow and all 100 grain broadheads. You know, I want to see that. I guess what I'm thinking is I want to see that a 100 grain rage on a quartering shot might perform better over a 125 Ramcat or whatever. I want to see that in certain instances the weight may or may not matter depending on the setup. You know, and I'm going to try to get multiple people to shoot. So I have a couple friends with bows. I have a woman friend. She shoots like 50 pounds, and she has like a 27 inch draw length. So I want to see, I put different broadheads and different arrow lengths. I want to see how it changes versus setup. So like if I say I take a Ramcat and I've got a 30-inch arrow and she's got a 27-inch arrow and her setup's completely different than mine, are we going to get the same penetration because we have the same arrow? Maybe, maybe not. You know, and I know that the logistics will say no, you're not going to get the same penetration, but no one's really tried it. I haven't seen a broadhead test out there. So what I'm really looking for is ideas, and let me know, okay? Obviously subscribe, hit the like button. That helps out the YouTube algorithm. And I'll see you guys later. You be well. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.